What is scripting? Like programming and coding, scripting basically boils down to writing out instructions for computers that computers are able to read and implement. Just like a movie script explains exactly how a movie unfolds, detailing every line of dialogue and stage direction in order, a computer script also gives precise instructions to be carried out in order, start to finish. That's what you'll be doing at NeuroTask, scripting or writing step-by-step instructions that tell your participants' computers what to show on the screen, when to show it, and what to record and send back to you. Now, computers aren't actually that smart, so you have to write your instructions using only words and sentences they'll understand. These various formats that computers can understand are called programming languages. At NeuroTask, you'll write your scripts in a simplified version of JavaScript, a universally used programming language that's built into every internet browser. Let's look at the overall structure of a script. In English, the steps of our instructions would be separated into sentences that start with a capital letter and end with a period. In a script, each step starts on a new line and ends with a semicolon. As you get better and write more complex scripts, you can make these sentences longer using commas and brackets inside of them. NeuroTask has a handy feature where you'll see this I or X in the margin if you accidentally forget a semicolon or forget to close your brackets. Now let's go over some basic terms involved in scripting. You'll often hear the terms function and argument. A function is a word with brackets after it, and the argument goes inside the brackets. In an English sentence, the function would be the verb and the argument would be the object. So you might script this, which translates to, "Computer, please show this text on the screen, then wait 3,000 milliseconds, then clear the text off the screen." We use this format because it follows the linguistic rules of JavaScript. It starts each instruction on a new line, ends them with a semicolon, refers to time in milliseconds, and puts the text that we want displayed inside of quotation marks. The quotation marks bring us to our next topic, variables. Variables are used to store information in scripts. You can think of variables like little storage cubbies, boxes that you create to put things in. What you put inside are called values. There are many types of variable values, but the main types that you'll be using in NeuroTask are number and string. String basically means text. Think of how a word is a string of characters. Strings always have to be inside quotation marks. This indicates to the computer not to bother trying to understand what's inside the quotation marks. Remember, our string isn't part of the computer's limited JavaScript vocabulary. Instead, the computer knows just to take the chunk of characters within the quotation marks as a whole and do what we say with it. For example, display it on the screen. Variables can also hold arrays or multiple values, which is like putting multiple items inside the same storage cubby. Now, we've said that most lines in your script are steps that the computer has to complete before moving on to the next line. Some lines don't have an action though, like when we use a line to create a variable and assign it a value. These lines are more like the ingredient list in a recipe. They're still part of the instructions, but they just provide background information rather than dictate action. Say you were writing a memory experiment, where subjects had to remember a list of words. You could create or declare a variable that you decide to name wordList by typing this. Now that you've created this little empty storage cubby, you can put something inside it or assign it a value. In this case, you've assigned it not one, but an array of string values. Your list of words is now stored in a handy variable and can be accessed, used, and even changed anytime throughout your script. And that's it. Scripting is nothing more than writing step-by-step instructions for a computer to read through like a list until it reaches the end and your participant has completed your experiment. So what are you waiting for? Continue on through our Get Started page now and get scripting.